Hello, my name is Desiree, or avocado_circles, and welcome. Today I have a video that's going to be a bit out of the ordinary for my channel, talking about Ouran High School Host Club. I've debated making this video since sometime last year, where I was going to talk about a couple of self-inserts I have for several other things, but since I don't want fan art to be the main focus of my channel, I decided that this is going to be a once-in-the-blue moon type of thing. That being said, I'm going to be talking about my self-insert, Kaito, for most of this video. He's going to be an actual character in my story soon, but for today, it'll just be his role in Ouran High School Host Club. Before we get into all of that, though, I want to chat for just a moment on what I did for the first couple minutes here. I wanted to familiarize myself with the silly doodle things that indicate emotions, whatever they're called. I had a lot of fun doodling those, and now they are everywhere in my sketchbook. They're just so cute. Especially the little flower things. I literally cannot stop drawing them around my cutesy characters. I wanted to actually use these in my final page, which, spoiler alert, I didn't really do, but I'll get better at it, I promise. I play around with the halftone textures as well, and found out that Procreate's new brush library has a comic set, so you know your girl took advantage of that, despite how scary that update looked. I also loved not having to focus on using actual color as well. I don't usually do art without using a whole bunch of colors, so focusing on just tone rather than hue was actually really nice for a change. The first panels I drew are of a couple of my OCs again. If you're here in my last video, you're gonna recognize Kage, and the person she's with, I will not go into detail about. He's a little bit of a secret. But I do want to point out that this is my first time that I've ever tried to draw Yolanda's facilities! Yay! I unfortunately utterly failed to draw it to scale. This is one of my first times actually trying to draw a setting of this, like, vastness, and I can't say that I don't like it, but I can say that it's inaccurate. Her facilities are huge. There's supposed to be multiple full-size training and sparring rooms, medical staff, gyms, obstacle courses. Maybe you could fit, like, a single sparring room in that building? Regardless, me and my fiancé are trying to refigure out what her facility is even supposed to look like anyway, so it doesn't really matter how inaccurate I am this time anyway. At this point, I decided to move to my sketchbook so that way I could, like, really nail down what Kaito looked like before jumping right into digital. I also do this to kind of practice some of the other characters I wanted to draw, namely Kyoya and, like, one of the random girls that Kaito is going to be talking to. Oh my god, spoilers for the manga, that's crazy. Kaito, as I keep mentioning, is my self-insert for the host club. He is a first-year student hailing from America, where he was brought up. He is half Japanese, half American. His father tried to flee the country and tried to move to America to avoid his lineage. However, when his wife filed for divorce a few years into their relationship, he was forced back to Japan. His father, so like Kaito's grandfather, essentially was like, "Yeah, I knew you'd be back. Now, take your spot in the company and don't fail us." After that point, Kaito attends the private rich schools, starting in middle school. He hardly talked to other students, often being looked at strange because of his accent and appearance. He never struggled in any classes, though, carefully studying and progressing to be top of the class, or at least close enough. Although, he purposely got a few English questions wrong so he could keep taking the class. His favorite subject in school is art, where he would sink most of his time for his extracurriculars. He also rather enjoyed the gym courses as well. He learns to fully speak Japanese fluently by high school, where he finally gathers the courage to talk to his peers. He ends up in class 2A, much to his surprise. He often forgets that his father has significant social standing in Japan after taking up his grandfather's business. He has since expanded their reach, even working with other business giants around to ensure continued growth and success. Kaito literally forgets he's rich half the time, catching himself not buying the expensive stuff just because of his upbringing and being poor in America. He gets comments on how he's so humble and how he's so kind to everyone despite being a foreigner. He's had girls confess to him that he's never even spoken to, and it just, like, confuses him. He doesn't see how they can look at him and just simply get a crush on him, especially because he's never felt the same way toward any girl. At some point, one of the girls wonders if he would join the host club, to which he asks them, "The host club? What's that?" He is now a second-year student. Finding that he has even more free time at this academy, he remembers what that girl had told him in the prior months, and finally gathers the courage to talk to his fellow classmate and apparent host club member, Kyoya Otori. Their conversation is brief. Kyoya told him that he's sure he'd make a wonderful addition to the host club, but it wasn't his choice to have him join. Ultimately, it is up to Tamaki. He suggested Kaito turn up to the club early while they're setting up so they can discuss. Kaito does just that, pushing open Music Room 3's ornate doors. "Welcome," he hears. This instantly changes his brain chemistry. One moment he was innocently wondering how to talk to girls, the next being completely flustered by a group of attractive men. Obviously, one thing leads to another, and Kaito is an official host club member. Yay! He is the artist of the group, offering his skills and time toward painting settings and patrons for some serious dough. Not to mention, the girls are always flustered when he tells them that they are perfect to paint. Sometimes he offhandedly doodles the girls and offers them the sketch, which they can keep, for a price, of course. Kyoya makes sure that this is a money-making endeavor, after all. Kaito is slated to be with Kyoya, by the way. I wanted to self-insert an Ouran High School host club because my experience in school absolutely sucked. I don't want to make a whole pity party of myself, but I guess having the lived experience of being bullied for how I look and act would play a role in kind of wanting to put myself in a better situation. I've been talking to my fiance about the host club, and he could tell you firsthand that I've been giggling and kicking my feet while thinking about these sweet boys doing silly things. I have scenes where I have Kaito come out to the group, and Kyoya is the only one who is shocked by that revelation. Mr. Otori may have been burying feelings of his own, perhaps? Or perhaps not, when he chastises Kaito for, telling Haruhi before everybody else. Regardless. I mentioned that I was going to make Kaito a character in my own story earlier in the video. Because of how much I've been thinking about Kaito and his relationships with the host club members, I decided that I wanted to make my own host club. That's right, the name is going to be Club Envy, and it's going to focus on topics that I feel were a little underrepresented in the anime. I want themes of jealousy, homophobia, misogyny, and I want them to all be adults so I can explore the more adult themes too. Also, so I can have doppelgangers that are not related and therefore not incestual in nature. Yet again, I am cursed with the needing to talk about my art process thing. This time was a bit more chaotic, as I did not have any sense of direction for how I wanted the panels to read. I didn't even have dialogue predetermined, so I just literally winged the entire thing. All I know is that I wanted Kyoya somewhere in there. I had a lot of fun drawing in the textured backgrounds, and even drawing the actual music room that they do their hosting in. The only thing I think I'd change is the continuity of Kaito's face, but I think that'll happen naturally with more practice as I draw him more. Anyway, that about does it. Thank you so much for watching my silly fan art video. Like I said before, this is a once-in-a-blue moon type of thing, so please do not expect more fan art anytime soon. Hopefully next video I will talk more about Kaito and Club Envy instead of Ouran High, so stay tuned. Like and subscribe to hear more about my silly characters. I love talking about them. Also, I have a few links in the description you could check out if you feel so inclined. And yeah. Bye!